Game. That was a performance tonight. I mean, you're playing with some passion here right now. What are you feeling right in this second?
Man, I love this team, man. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? We're competing. It's all love, but we're competing. Yeah, that was cool, man, but that final buzzer felt the best. You know what I mean? Getting the win.
So, Cade Cunningham isn't just putting up numbers right now. He's changing the entire energy of the Pistons offense. Through 12 games, he's averaging 27 points, 9 assists, and 5 rebounds, while shooting 43% from the field and 27% from deep. And yeah, it's still early, so those stats might look amazing to some people and to others. But here's the thing, the numbers aren't the story. What Cade is doing on the court is something you cannot measure with a box score. You truly have to see it. It's the pace, the control, the reads, and just the way he's bending defenses like a veteran superstar. And once you actually watch the film, you realize something very real is happening in Detroit. From all 3 levels, Cade is creating in multiple different ways that the defense can't contain. When he's operating off the dribble to get inside, there's a poise to his game that makes it look like everything is moving in slow motion. When getting the handoff, he'll subtly shift directions with the cross to make the defender think he's going to get screened. So now when getting low, he's able to push right past Wade to get to the basket to get the tough bucket with the left hand. Although Cade's game is predicated on simplicity, you'll have these moments where he has to get crafty and acrobatic with his approach, as when the big helps over when he beats his defender. So instead of going up on this left side where he could potentially be blocked, Cunningham decides to use that up and under reverse to spin this off the glass. This creative nature leaks into his mid-range, where Cade will get to a spot in his swiftness. By using that handle to make the defender shift his hips to guard him going right, this is the perfect setup for Cade to deliver that double crossover to break away from the defense completely. And with this much space given, go ahead and throw up 2 points on the board. Now, just because he can be elusive with the handle doesn't mean Cade is someone who shies away from contact. As when going against Morant here, Cunningham has the clear advantage when it comes to size, and this plays majorly in his favor when he goes against other point guards. For one, he can use that 220-pound frame of his to initiate the contact to create some separation, and then 2, even if Ja was to contest, Cade will be able to elevate right over the top of him due to that height advantage. These 2 methods of scoring inside the arc is a bulk of what Cade's game is made of, but it's nice to see that he's not as hesitant as past years to let it fly from deep when he gets the chance. When we pull up the numbers, on all finger rolls, layups, and dunks, Cade is converting these at a 59% rate, and from the mid-range, he's connecting on 45% of his shots. These 2 areas make up a big portion of his game, and when you dive into them deeper, you can see just how skilled Cunningham is at getting to his desired area on the floor. When starting with his attacking game, it all begins with his operation in full court scenarios. It truly doesn't matter who's in front of him when he has to go score. Cade will push right at them to the basket and use his muscle to knock them to get 2 points. Now, just like earlier, just because he does one thing doesn't mean he can't do the other. This time when pushing at the Wizards, Sarr is right in front of him. Now, could he try to go right at his chest to go score inside? Of course. But this would be much more difficult due to the size difference, and Sarr could still probably block the ball with his longer arms. So with Cade knowing that he has a disadvantage going right at him, he has to make things work in his favor. Cunningham decides to angle his attack going left to get Sarr leaning that way, and then wham! He switches directions with that crossover to get the step on the slower footed big, and the rest is history. As we all know, when you get out on that fast break, it leads to highlight moments throughout the entire NBA. But man oh man, do some highlights tend to take a little more finesse than others. This ability to score so well with a head of steam translates right into his half-court scoring, and trust me when I say it, Cunningham is not shy to get inside and do damage. Now, not every time will it be some SportsCenter top 10 highlight, but without foul baiting or losing focus, Cade can absorb the contact when driving and still complete the bucket. This here is something you want to see from your lead guard, as not only will they welcome the contact when they drive with no issue, but then if needed, they can yank the defender with the handle to get started downhill, and then when the help try to contest him at the rim, he's simply unbothered. When you watch Cade, it's not like he's the fastest guy who's going to consistently beat you off the dribble to go score at the rim, but what he is someone who will analyze the potential spot he can get to on the floor, use a move to get there, and regardless of what's in front of him, he still completes the goal.
Spins to the basket, flips it up and in.
If we look at a key thing that helps him attack the defense, it's his change of direction. Sometimes it may be subtle, but when he asks if he's going to burst downhill going right, this makes the defender load up to guard that way, which now allows Cade to cut back to the middle. Now when looking at this attack, you can see Clowney right there to help out. So Cade brings the ball down low to avoid any hand stripping the ball, and with the foul coming across his arm, he just powers right through it to get the and one.
Through the lane, tough finish, plus the foul.
This ability to spot his angle and then throw his defender off with the handle to get there is always a treat to watch. And when he can do it by delivering a spin move to then put this ball right over the outstretched contested flag, this is when you know he's in that mode. defenders will try everything in their power to stop him going one way, not knowing he's just setting them up for the next move, and just when they think they played that perfectly, he'll show you he's already thinking about the next step in the process to cook you. Like for real, whether it's that Thanksgiving meal that puts your stomach in a blender before you score in the toilet, or if it's that sweet wine that gets your head spinning before you go off on your auntie. The thing is, you never know which direction Cade is gonna go, so it's best you just be prepared for it all. Now this here will be the main course of his driving game, but he'll throw in some sides, such as that combo handle that opens him up to attack inside for a tough bank off the glass, and then other times he'll slow the pace down to get the defense relaxed, and then serve that signature spin off to get to the basket. Yeah, it gets tougher each time down the floor to contain Cunningham when he's in his zone. But this is just the top of the bag, because when he gets deep to the bottom of it where those extra fries be, this is when you know he's truly an elite talent. He'll use that driving threat as a way to set up his scoring, so now when Lauri Markkanen is sliding those puppies to stay in front, he changes directions, which opens up this gap between him and his defender, and although Markkanen did a solid job of recovering, the pull-up is still money. Now to get away from that abrupt direction change, Cunningham will see that if he continues downhill off the screen, that he'll run into not only one defender, but possibly two if Lauri is to help out. So instead he used the sidestep as an audible to the play, which not only takes away any hard layup inside, but it also gets him away from Kevin Love and Keontae George, who is chasing, so he can now rise up for the jumper. If you ask me, it's really things like that the younger generation has to study. Everything isn't about being super flashy and going for the highlight moment. It's all about understanding how to navigate on the floor with the least amount of dribbles and how to capitalize once you're at your spot on the floor that you want to be. I understand when Cade uses the smooth handle into a step back over Middleton, it makes some people want to fancy over that and think that he needs to do that all the time, when in reality, it's the patience to not go crashing inside or rising up that shows his control on the floor. And then if you watch closely, you're going to see him bump into Giddey slightly to give himself some separation, and that's when he then decides to rise up for the shot. See, it's things like that separate him from most around the league. The extremely small things that you might miss in real time. But hold on, that's not me saying that he can't get crafty as well, because it's no lie that we all love when he snatches a defender before pulling up, but it's just that we can't get blinded by that. His creation is much more than just fancy ball handling into shots, as he will get into that post-up action to create for himself, and then when he does use that handle, he'll throw in a step back to make the defense pay as well. If you ask me, Cade Cunningham is one of the top point guards in the entire NBA. And I know we mainly cover scoring, but Cade dishes out 9 assists per game, so don't for 1 second think he can't facilitate. If you want to see more Cade breakdowns and more Pistons videos, comment Cade down below and one thing you like about his game. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you're first to know when I upload. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.